Hail to the guardians of the watchtower of the east, powers of air and intervention, hear us.
Hear us. Hail to the guardians of the watchtowers of the south, powers of fire and healing, hear us.
Hear us.
Hear us.
Hail to the guardians of the watchtowers of the west, of water and intuition, hear us.
Hear us.
Hear
Hear
us.
us. Hail to the guardians of the powers of the north, the powers of mother and earth, hear us.
Hear us. Hello. Thanks for tuning in to Scream Kingz tonight. And we are here to talk about some really fun stuff. And tonight's topic is witches, werewolves, and vampires. Oh my. All of the fun stuff. And tonight we are joined with a very special guest, our honorary Scream King, Rickey. Come on out.
Hey, y'all.
Hey. What's up?
Oh, you know, just doing the work behind the scenes.
Doing the work behind the scenes. You are our Bonnie Bennett, because without Bonnie Bennett, nothing would happen. Am I lying?
No lies were told. No lies were told.
And so in true Scream Kingz fashion, we have a drinking game. And because we want to get a little toasty tonight, we have three: witch, werewolf, and vampire. So for those who are watching at home, go ahead and get your cocktail out. It's time to get ready and get lit. It's been a rough, maybe week or day, whatever you have it. So it's time to have a little sip. So let's cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Oh,
Cheers.
cheers.
So with the subject of witches, vampires, and werewolves, what is your class? Let's see. I know it's a rough one. So I'm TaMon and you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and all those other places, as usual. And my class of choice is witch.
Of course.
No shock. No shock there. Witch has been a part of my life. I remember growing up and Hocus Pocus came out. I don't know how old I was. I was single digits, I'm sure. And my cousin, I used to make him recite the spells. And every time he messed up, we had to start from the beginning. So that was
how we can see.
That's where it came from. Okay.
It's something
very familiar.
Oh, does it?
Mm-hmm.
Rickey, what is your class? And where can they find you?
Of course, mine's witch as well. You can find me on Instagram at Rickey Z _social. And if you are watching the show, my name's going to be all up and through some of the stuff from the production. So you can find me in those things too.
Witch.
Mm-hmm. I think for me, like, witches were in literature were my bag, honestly. Oh my goodness, what's that? Some of those young adult books with witches, and not even necessarily like your stereotypical witches, but like, what's it? I think it was not Secret Circle. There was another. There was Duncan. No, what's her name? Duncan. Lois Duncan.
Lois Duncan.
Yes, there's some of her books were kind of like
Daughters of Eve.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Gallows Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Gallows Hill. Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Those
Wish they made it to a movie.
And the first one was good.
Mm-hmm.
Ish.
Yes. Those are my jam.
What is your class?
Can I cheat and say I'm a hybrid of all
Hell
three?
no.
No,
Damn it.
not that.
You can
I was
find
gonna
me
do
on-
that, but I had a feeling it was gonna be a no, so I just
See, we can't have fun at all, Bobby.
Good job.
Whatever. You can find me at the Anti-Critic on Twitter, Instagram, Midnight Social Distortion, and Mark O. Estes. If I have to choose, because Witches is very popular right now, I would have to go with my least, not my least, but the least represented in the horror genre at the moment, and that is the Werewolves. Because one, I'm hairy as fuck. And two, I just love the transformation and the mythology of the werewolf, because it is, I mean, you it's like a primal beast. It's kind of like Bobby also being a Gemini, the werewolf also represents those two sides. You know, you have the wild side, you have your normal side. And I just love any movie that tackles werewolves in a deep manner, instead of just being like these wild beasts, but just being like Wolf with Jack Nicholson and Michelle Pfeiffer. Like, that whole journey in that movie was just wonderful. So Werewolves for me.
Okay.
I thought you would have chose vampire
Yeah, me too.
reason.
I would have, I mean, vampire, I love the vampire lore. It's just that I wanted to give the werewolves some shine, because there's a lot of werewolf movies out there that a lot of people do not talk about enough. So
True.
Just for shits and giggles, what was your hybrid that you wanted to be?
all three of them.
All of them.
A hybrid.
You
Hybrid.
want to be hosts?
Oh yeah, but see, what we like
Premium.
that in Elder Scrolls TaMon, did we have like something like that? I know
We were sorcerer vampires, and then we also became werewolves.
Yes, that shit was hot.
Niklaus Michelson, Bobby.
Oh. Hi everybody. I said Bobby. Bobby Torres with a Z, not an S. Bobby likes to speak on YouTube. And I'm going to choose Werewolves. Now, when I was younger, I grew up watching a lot of witch things. Like, I grew up watching The Witches and Witches of Eastwick and all of those type of movies. But as I've gotten older, I identify with werewolves a little bit more. Like with Mark would say, they are not represented enough. And I realized that, throughout my hard journey podcasting and YouTube and things like that. And I don't know. I'm not a Gemini, but I am a Gemini moon. So I get it, Mark.
Ooh.
So I feel that inner wolf in me sometimes as well. So yes, and there's so many great movies, and I just want to see them represented better in the future. So I had to choose wolf as well.
Okay.
Damn, I feel like I need to pick vampire now, since nobody pick vampire. But my answer is, even though I'm dressed like a witch, my answer is actually werewolf. I think werewolves represent freedom. It's like a lack of inhibitions. You get this confidence out of nowhere. You draw people in. And I think that's stuff I crave to be. And I would say vampire, but I like sunlight, so that wouldn't really work. But
Unless you spotlight, you get the sprinkle glitter. And
I refuse.
We don't do those.
Listen,
We don't do those.
And you can
Listen.
follow me below at Twitter and Instagram, FactoryBanks86. People Under the Skits podcast with Bobby over here. And you can find, us here at Scream Kingz.
Ow. And with that, make sure you guys turn on those notifications, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Tell your covens, tell your packs. We want to make sure that people are watching. So who's the pack
I
leader?
love that.
Who's the alpha?
I would be an alpha.
Oh,
Okay.
I know everybody. I know.
Okay.
You mean like for
Right.
that
That's all
individual person?
okay.
I'm okay.
Wait, no, you mean for this? For here?
right
No,
now.
No,
who's
no,
the
I won't be
alpha?
alpha. No,
I'll have a little
I'm not
pack.
the alpha.
I got a pack.
I'm not an alpha. No.
I'm a lone wolf, so that definitely not me.
That doesn't work.
I'm an omega. I'll just be killed on the side by myself with the other wolves.
Damn.
I don't follow rules and
Oh.
laws. So, and I don't like being in charge of nobody, so I'd have to be an omega. Or is it delta? It's one of them.
Wow.
Wow. So, Bobby, you are the alpha. Congratulations.
I guess so. Well, thank you, y'all.
That was easy.
Right. Don't have to explain myself.
Right. Well, Ricky, I guess we need to do our 7 wonders tomorrow. Good luck, love. Good luck. I'm a little nervous about one of them, but I think we'll be fine.
Right.
Uh-oh.
I think
Gonna be after school hours, please.
Do a tie. I mean, break all the rules, like RuPaul said. Have two winners, have two Supremes, and y'all share the day.
Because we are two.
You two are supreme. For those who are watching, you two are supreme.
Right.
Rickey, you have kids. So what age do you think it is appropriate to introduce your kids to horror?
Oh God. Well, so TaMon, you know me, I'm the ultimate scaredy cat. So for me, like I don't really introduce the kids to horror. They just kind of find it. So mine were introduced into the weird and the spooky at an early age. So my oldest was a Tim Burton fan at a very young age, about age 3. So Corpse Bride, Nightmare Before Christmas, Coraline, even though Coraline isn't necessarily Tim Burton, but it's still in that claymation realm. And like she's been into that stuff for the longest time. So more like gothic comedy in a way.
Okay.
So like she's a big Beetlejuice fan. And so we'll dabble into some horror if we're brave enough, but not too much.
She's gonna be dragging you to horror movies when she gets older.
Ready.
Luckily they serve alcohol at the movie theater now. So it's okay.
Right?
Exactly.
Like, I'll have me a wine with all this horror. Although I did watch some horror films like by myself in the theater a couple times. Just I try to be brave. I think it was Us. That was the one I went to see by myself.
Ooh,
that's good. That's like, it's not too bad, compared to some other movies.
What I can't do is gore. I can't do the gore.
Torture porn.
Yeah. Like the what's it called? The Hostel and like.
Oh yeah, Hostel's tough.
Yeah, that whole like mid 2000s like.
When Saw came out, it's sort of
Saw era.
Yeah.
That's too much for me. But I can watch The Exorcist. I can watch Carrie. I can watch like some of those, but like not full on.
You watched Scream this year.
I did watch Scream for the first time this year.
Wow.
Are you paranoid of everyone around you now?
I mean, no more than usual.
No more than usual. Right? I don't think any of us have kids, but like we were kids at one point. So when were you guys actually introduced to horror?
5 or 6. It was definitely Child's Play. I remember those were the movies I was watching. And then it kind of graduated to me just catching stuff on TV when it would come on. But they did try to hide movies from me that I would find. So I remember one of the Freddy's they tried to hide from me. Scream they hid from me, and I didn't even know it was a horror movie. I just ended up watching it. And I think 5 or 6, but start them out a little. Do not give them Chucky at first. I would say The Witches.
That's perfect.
Well, it is if you don't want to sleep and you want your kid bothering you all night, then show them Child's Play.
They have a protagonist their age. Like I can connect with them.
Right.
Like, exactly. I remember seeing parts of the movies. I'm not sure if I actually would sit and watch the entire thing, but I remember seeing pieces of those movies back then, but it always be the worst part where I'm someone's getting stabbed. I'm I don't want to watch this anymore.
What's happening there?
The Witches, Hocus Pocus.
The what?
The Witches, Hocus Pocus, maybe Goosebumps.
Get your cut.
Yes.
Are You Afraid of the Dark?
I told y'all on here before. What was the first time that I came to horror? My mom was trying to trained me and was in there watching The Nightmare on Elm Street, laughing her ass off because anything that is anytime a monster transforms or turns into something, somebody turns into some type of creature, she starts laughing her ass off. So I heard her laugh and I walked in the living room, and this was the scene where Freddy's walking down the alleyway towards Tina. And ever since then, it became, like I became a what's the word I'm looking for? Not obsessed, but intrigued. And so I will always be the person hiding but peeking between my fingers and stuff like that. And then the fingers started becoming lower and lower to the point where I was leaning into the TV at the shit. Then my parents went from like, oh, he's scared of horror to, oh my God, he might wake up in the middle of the night and kill us because he watched too much horror movies. And so they were very terrified of that. But I have nieces now, and the ones that I was there in house with as they were born, my oldest niece, she tries to act like she doesn't like horror, but she has this same interest in it. Like I had, and I've been picking it up. I've been picking up on it because she'll be like, I don't want to come to your house because I don't want Pennywise to attack me. And I said, baby girl, I got like several Pennywise figures in here, and then I'm not putting them up when you come over here. Oh. And the first time she came over here, she did the whole little, now she's 11. She did the whole, but she likes to act. So she did the whole, oh, I'm scared of Pennywise. Oh my God, it's all over the place. Then she was like picking them up and playing with them and stuff. And I'm like, I said, you could be into horror too, right? Because she used to watch The Walking Dead at the age of 3. My sister and her boyfriend be at the house watching The Walking Dead, and they be like, baby, go to bed. And she'd be sitting there looking at it, and she'd come to me the next day, well, this zombie took a big chunk out this guy's neck. And I'm like, the hell y'all showing her The Walking Dead for? And they're like, we try to tell her ass to go to bed. And then she'll sit there and watch stuff like Are You Afraid of the Dark? And then she'll watch old school Twilight Zone. And I keep telling her, you love horror. It's okay. I will guide you through this journey.
God. I have a niece story too. My niece, we watch the same things, we read the same books, and she was born when I was 11. So she's like my little sister. So of course, I was like, anything I watch, you watch. Anything I do, you're gonna do. And so we still chat about stuff to this day. And she's like 22-ish. I don't remember how old she is, but I don't know. But she's like 22. But I was really young too. My character was Carol Ann. I had such an obsession with that little girl. I tell you guys all the time, I was the one holding the TV. So I'm there here. Like Carol Ann was my girl. She was my homie. And I used to pretend in the pool, like when she got sucked in the third one, like that was happening to me. So Carol Ann was my homie. So I've been watching horror movies since I can remember. I had a conversation, someone was asking, what other type of genre has influenced who you are? And I was like,
right?
I don't think there is one, actually. I mean, I like rom-coms. I said Sex and the City because Carrie Bradshaw. But other than that, I'm like, I don't think horror's all I've really been attached to for, and fantasy has been really special to me since I was that age.
Mm-hmm. They'll do it. I like to chuckle every now and then. I mean,
every now and then, Ghostface was funny. I mean,
yeah,
when Michael, there was a scene, I think, maybe it was Jason. They were like in a stairwell, and he had a shotgun, and he was trying to defend this girl he was sleeping with, I think. And it was a mirror, like a window behind them. It was on a staircase, and either he hugs him to death. Precious, I don't remember what happened to him.
Halloween 4.
That was Halloween 4?
Yeah, that was Halloween 4. No, that was Brady's old dumb ass.
What happened to Brady?
He got crushed. He got his head crushed.
By Brady.
Hell, he deserved it though. He was sitting there fucking the damn sheriff's daughter behind her bed. I'm sorry, we're talking about children and how hard.
No, I always wonder, like, children in horror, like Tommy Doyle and Lindsay Wallace. They saw their real life horror movie, so I wonder how that impacted them. Bobby, can you tell us about that? Because those are your friends.
Well, we already see how it affected Tommy and Lindsay and Halloween Kills, so we don't even have to talk about that. But for me, I think Kid. Yeah. But for me, I mean, I got into horror at a very young age, like the rest of you. I don't know what age, but I know it was very young. It depends on who I was with, because my mom was a young single mother, so she would show me like other like lighter horror movies, and then when I spent time with my aunts and uncles, they would show me the hardcore shit. So it was it was an interesting mix, you know. Like my mom would show me Ghostbusters and stuff. That's why I'm obsessed with Ghostbusters. I would run that VHS tape to the ground. But then, and there are Goosebumps. But then when I'm hanging with my aunts and uncles, we're watching Return of the Living Dead and Evil Dead 2 and things like that. Huge, you know. So I do have a lot of specific memories of me having nightmares and me trying to bang on my mom's door because I was having a bad nightmare. One specifically due to Pennywise, and that one was her fault. I remember I was watching the It miniseries with her, and I never got to the second one because I was so terrified of the first part. So it was up in there, like in my head. I just thought like, all right, I don't know how this ends, but he's alive somewhere. He's going to get me. And I would have these night terrors of Pennywise, and I would try to bang on my mom's door, and she would just like, go back to bed. So it was really, really bad. And that one was due to her, which is funny. But I got over that a little later on in life, and I'm fine now. So I guess it depends. But for, you know, what do you call it? The Goosebumps and Ghostbusters and stuff, I guess those would be great type of horror movies and shows to start kids off first. Yeah. Child's Play, yeah, maybe a little bit of the first half, but then when he started chopping niggas up, then that's when we had to.
That's so weird to think, like, because like I would have never thought of like Ghostbusters or as horror, like.
It was scary moments in Ghostbusters.
I agree, but like I love the Ghostbusters. I would sit through that, and like Are You Afraid of the Dark? Like I knew it was scary, but I wouldn't think. I wouldn't go that far as horror. Because when I'm thinking of horror, I'm really thinking of like someone straight up being killed. And like Goosebumps, you don't really see that, but like it's horror light, and I can see that.
It's implied.
It's implied, exactly.
You know? But I'm gonna tell you the one movie that and this was thanks to Bravo's 100 Scariest Moments in Horror Ever. They did something that I didn't even realize, and they showed the scene from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. No, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. No, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Willy Wonka.
And I was like, when they sat there, broke it down, I was like, that is a horror movie because you don't see them kids again. You don't see them kids anymore. Once they gone, they out of here. And I was like, oh my God. I told Trinica, like my sister Trinica, I was like, yo, do you not realize that Willy Wonka and Chocolate Factory is a horror movie? And she's like, no, it's not. I said, think about it. You didn't see them kids no damn more.
Listen,
and then when you saw the
go ahead, finish.
No, I was just saying when you see Charlie in the Chocolate Factory, you see them bounce out a little different little, you know, stuff like that at the end of the movie. They're like, yeah, they're okay, kinda, but they're here. I'm like, nah, I prefer the original where their asses was gone. Like, and I told my sister, you need to show Star and Rain there and see how
Violet was getting juiced, but like, what happened after she got juiced?
Right.
It was the juice.
She was juiced.
Which one, Johnny Depp? Is that the Willy Wonka?
That's Charlie. That's Charlie.
So
I never watched that one.
You know what? I thought it was a missed opportunity. It could have got really dark, and they had some. Cool
it really could have.
That the tunnel scene, that was sort of creepy in the original one too.
Yeah, that was very psychedelic.
Mm-hmm.
The second one I would say is more for those who want to get stoned and just watch the movie and just sit there and have fun with it. It was not as iconic as the original, but I remember watching it at the very end. You see everybody like in their different distorted ways coming out the end of out the back of the factory and stuff, and it's like, oh. I didn't have to know what happened to them. I thought the answers was dead. Like my favorite scene in the remake is when them squirrels attacked Veruca. That shit was terrifying. They ran up and they attacked her ass. They drug her, kind of like in Resident Evil Apocalypse when Sandrine Holt's character Terry Morales got dragged by those kids zombies, they did her the exact same way. And I don't know what the fuck happened to her after that.
Oh, she gone.
Yeah, Farouk.
She gone.
She is gone.
She gone.
It's unfortunate. And she wanted that egg, and the problem was she didn't get it.
She was a bad
She
egg.
don't care how, she wanted it now.
She was a bad egg.
I loved her
She
song.
was. I'm saying.
But my favorite part is it's like, I want it now. She fell from the head.
Oh yeah, she's falling.
Yes.
I was like, bye-bye, little bitch.
Don't do Faruka like that. She was great. Violet. You're telling Violet, Violet.
Right.
So what do y'all think about like gateway horror for like kids now? Because like it's interesting that we're on this subject. Like again, Ghostbusters, and they even redid Are You Afraid of the Dark for like this newer generation. And I actually been watching it. You know, my grown ass age, I always loved Are You Afraid of the Dark, and I was like, let me see how this new version holds up. And I can see how this new version is scary for kids. And it's cool too because they actually put in some horror movie references in there. Like the latest one I was watching, they were talking about Scream. Because they went back to like 1996, and one of them said, "Oh, I got a Scream ticket." So it's pretty cool seeing like this state of, you know, I guess horror shows for kids, and they still representing old horror movies for these new generations. So like, how do you guys think there's like, do these I guess Gen Zers have a good amount of horror movies and TV shows, or do you think it's like lacking?
I think. Oh,
go ahead, TaMon. You said it.
I think that, you know, like Pretty Little Liars. Pretty Little Liars is for that generation, I think, and Pretty Little Liars.
That ain't for kids.
Yes, it is. It's
Pretty Little. Young adult, yes.
That's young adult.
That's a young adult, yeah.
So what do we consider
Pre-teens, teenage.
Pre-teens, yeah.
They probably still in that zombie shit on Disney Channel and what's the
Oh.
Show it. AM2.
My niece is into it. She's like, you haven't seen zombies yet? It has zombies in it. I'm like, girl, no.
No, I mean, just blood in it, like that. I don't really know. I don't watch anything kid appropriate, so I don't really know what's out there for them to watch. I know in literature they have some. Oh, Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo's pretty close,
They
honestly.
put out a YouTube pilot for a TV show that just got canceled on HBO Max.
Already?
Yeah, it was part of that chop, and it was pretty decent, and it was a little scary too. But you know, I was a Scooby-Dooer. I was in the Scooby gang growing up. I love Scooby-Doo.
I never realized how creepy that show was growing up, but I was there, you know, and people would say, well, you know, Scooby-Doo was my gateway. I know a lot of people have said that different podcasts and different like channels and stuff that their gateway was Scooby-Doo, and then they, you know, made their way into, you know, stuff we all grew up with. But a lot of people say Scooby-Doo was their first love of horror.
There's a show on Netflix that my oldest will watch. It's more of like a psychological series, but like little mini series of just real life stuff. I can't even think of the name of it right now, but like one where it's like all the kids are trying to get this one cell phone. This girl has a really cool cell phone, and like she's, you know, like the cell phone's almost like a real person, and it's like controlling her life and messaging all of her friends and like ruining all of her relationships. Like those type of psychological thrillers, but like making it more relatable to a younger generation. I feel like those are like pretty cool gateways into that genre.
Yeah,
they're starting to bring back a lot of our. And it's crazy though, because it's like that's another reason why I asked this question, because I don't really see too much originality. And it's not like I'm seeking out kid shows, but usually I'll see it like advertised while I'm watching TV or on YouTube or something, or Bloody Disgusting will still post it. But I see in a lot of our shows, a lot of these new shows being like reboots or remakes. Like again, Are You Afraid of the Dark? That's being brought back. That was like our generation. Now that's being brought back. They're thinking about doing Goosebumps all over again. So and they bring up. It's just I don't know if that's like I don't know.
I think
it's interesting to see that they are
Oh, I was gonna say, I think their stuff needs to be technology based.
Yeah, I can see that because, like, I mean, you can watch Goosebumps and Are You Afraid of the Dark right now on Netflix and Paramount Plus, and like my kids have watched Goosebumps before. They've sat through like several episodes of it and they like it. I mean,
right,
but they're young enough to where like it doesn't have to be too updated for it to apply to them.
Right.
But eventually it would.
Mm-hmm.
I think once the kids get to realize, like when they sit there, I think I was watching an old episode. I know this ain't hard, but I was watching the old episode of Double Dare. And my niece was like, I said, see, this is the first episode of Double Dare. No, not Double Dare. Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Oh, yeah.
That shit was scary.
Temple
They're coming out of nowhere, grabbing your ass.
Right.
Yeah.
There
was hell. Even when they would sit, I would jump when they get snatched and stuff like that. But I'll show them the first episode, and I said, "See, this came out the year that I was your age, 11." I said, 1992 or 3. She said, "That's ancient." And I said, I almost called my baby girl something, but I said, wait a minute now. Hold up. But the thing I'm trying to say is that she'll watch anything like that. It's anything that we grew up with, she will watch it and not have that mentality of like, this is old. Like, this has nothing to do with what I'm into. Because when she watched the original She-Ra and Jim, the holograms and stuff like that.
Same for mine.
Came out.
Yeah.
And when the new She-Ra came out, she said, "This is not She-Ra." I said, "There you go, baby girl. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you." But she wants to watch Are You Afraid of the Dark with me. She wants me to sit down and watch a few episodes with her. And I was trying to figure out which ones would be easy for her to like ease her in. You know what I'm saying? So she won't. But I always tell my niece, I said, "Baby, you've seen The Walking Dead. You've seen kids get ate up. So you should be fine with Are You Afraid of the Dark."
Now, can you tell me why my 10-year-old, she's not 10 years, my 9-year-old, we were watching, I introduced her to Buffy the Vampire Slayer a few months back, and we were watching, and she's like, "This is kind of dated." I know. Now, granted, in her defense,
phones.
I mean,
right, but in her defense, though, they're clearly like older kids. They're all teenagers in high school. And they don't have any of the things that you would think an older kid would have in this day and age.
Right.
Like her right now, she doesn't have a cell phone. Now, if it was a bunch of like elementary school kids with no cell phone, she's like, I don't have one. It's cool. But plus the hair, it was very 90s. It was very 90s.
I'm trying to get there. Ricky, with my niece. I want to introduce her to Buffy the Vampire Slayer so bad. My sister watched it, but she wasn't obsessed with it as I was. I want my niece to sit there and be like, I want her to be like, "Baby girl, this is what made your uncle who he is today. And I need you to understand where I come from." So Buffy is where we're going to start you off at, but my sister is very strict about her watching anything that has a lot of like kissing between, people in it and stuff like that. Cause she don't want her to get introduced to stuff like that. I was like, she'll be fine. I promise you she'll be fine.
Yes. On Netflix, they have the Jurassic Park animated show, and it's scary and it's good.
Yeah,
it's really good.
Camp Cretaceous.
Something with they're on a I think so.
Yeah,
but
it's Camp Cretaceous.
4 seasons, I think. And the characters are great.
Jurassic Park is also a good example of introducing kids into horror slowly because some people look at it. Also, the adventure. That shit's scary. When you have the 2 kids and first of all, you got 2 kids trying to be ate up by a T-Rex in a car, and they don't know how to react. And then you have them in the kitchen with the raptors. That was just terrifying for me because I was 10 when that movie came out, so I was like, "Oh God, this is horrifying." So,
damn, Jurassic Park, you were 10. That was
93, right?
Yeah, 93.
Oh gosh, it was scary when it came out.
Yeah.
It's the eyeballs of the dinosaurs. That's always what scares me.
It's that thing that
right.
Dilophosaurus.
My favorite.
Spits out like acid or something like that, or what?
When he killed homeboy who had that shaving cream, I was out of here.
Yes.
It took me
and trapped him.
I was obsessed with the whole thing.
My parents bought that particular dinosaur and that Jeep that he was in for me for Christmas, and I reenacted this scene so many damn times. Because you could squeeze the water out of his stomach.
It did have a kite.
I had a kite and it had I had that kite. I want to have some
No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it at all. That thing was terrifying. And if it walked into my apartment,
she was all that.
I think it was scarier in the first one than in that last movie.
Oh, of course it was. All he was doing was trying to get back in his car. He turned over to the passenger seat like, "Hey, how you doing?"
He was talking shit, and he got what he deserved.
And with that, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Matt Davis is a jerk, and therefore we don't like him. Sorry, I'm just gonna say what it is. But
Alaric Saltzman,
right?
You should have died, Indiana Jones.
You should have stayed dead.
He's basically Indiana Jones, and problematic as he was. And at the end of this season, Alaric did not die. He passed over his leadership of the school to Caroline, who finally popped up.
Caroline.
Caroline was bad as fuck when she popped back up on the Legacies finale.
She's got a TikTok now, Candace King.
Come on, Candace.
I know.
She's come a long way.
She has.
I love Caroline from the very beginning. Of course,
I did too, but I was scared. I was so scared for her because after what happened to why am I forgetting her name? But
sister. Of Matt Donovan's sister.
Matt's sister, and then so when she got knocked out, Vicky, yes. Mm-hmm. I was so scared for Vicky, but then when she got surprised, I mean, season 1 of the Vampire Diaries just kept snatching every piece of hair off my body. I mean, I was just sitting there like, I cannot believe they just did that.
Mm-hmm.
I was surprised.
And that's so weird because like the actress that played Vicky, like she was in a lot of promo and advertising for that show, like pictures, like more than Kat Graham was, surprisingly.
She was in like you said, group photos. She was in the opening credits.
She got arrested with cast.
Mm-hmm, right. It was like family.
Right.
And I don't think she made it to episode 6. It was just like,
You didn't see Vicky until the last season when she was trying to get them to ring that bell.
She came back as a ghost a couple times, and that's about it.
Oh, yeah.
Why do we think that witches are so popular? In the last 10 years, why do we think that witches and vampires and werewolves, we're going to just take one drink for that. Why do we think they've been so popular in the last 10 years?
I think it's because all kids can identify with them. That sense of rebelliousness, if that's even a word, where they could just sit there and just be like, you know what? I don't like this bitch. I'm gonna stab my fingers. I'm gonna sit there and make her do X, Y, and Z. You know what I'm saying? Or I have a fear of dying and I don't want to die. So this thought that I can live forever is very tempting. Mm-hmm. And werewolves is just, it depends on who you talk to, because most people like all the hair and all this. No, baby, that's the best part of, being out of all of it, because you can live for a long time, but you get to fuck somebody up if they cross you on a full moon. And it depends on what mythology you follow, because sometimes some werewolves can just change without a damn moon being up. Just fuck you up. You know what I'm saying? So I just think it's like this, it's a youth thing. Because Lord knows I went through my phases. I went from witch to vampire to werewolf, back to witch, back to vampire, then werewolf. And then when the Vampire Diaries universe introduced hybrids and tribrids.
Oh yes,
I could be all this shit.
Mm-hmm.
That part. I think that in the last 10 years, I think when Buffy came out, it was a thing, right? So we had vampires, we had witches, but we were still a conservative world that we lived in. So everybody wasn't trying to, kill people and new spells. But when Twilight happened, it sort of revitalized the idea of like vampires and werewolves. And then we got all these TV shows. And then you got Vampire Diaries, and then you had what is that? Secret Circle, and then you had Midnight Texas and True Blood. You had all those different shows that had like vampires, witches, and werewolves take a drink.
Oh my!
Oh my! You had all those different characters, and then Coven happened on American Horror Story, so now everybody wants to be a damn witch.
Everybody, yeah.
And so, like, I think that it happened in waves. Like, it really died down. Like, vampires have been popular since, honestly, but when Twilight happened, vampires just sort of been booming ever since. It didn't stop.
And if it was, go ahead.
Well, because I think like I don't ever remember a time where like they weren't like popular. Like they've always been a thing. Like folklore has been around for so long, and especially when you think about literature. So like it's always been there, and like the way that you can apply those folklore to like lessons in life, like with Buffy, with like sleep with your boyfriend, he's gonna turn into a jerk and it's gonna be horrible. Just like how Buffy was Vampire Slayer was just like another way of explaining growing up as a teenager in America. So like there's so much that it applies that doesn't really like they don't really go away. And then like, you know, with the rise of Twilight, like Vampire Diaries had been a book series long before Twilight came out.
Right.
I believe True Blood had been a book series long before the twos, but it's just, you know, Twilight kind of gave us an ample opportunity to capitalize that as far as TV shows, because we really hadn't had a good vampire show since Buffy or Angel for a good few years.
And they tried, Lord knows they tried. We had Forever, what was it called, y'all? Forever Night, which was really syndicated though, but nobody really, if you weren't, you know, let's just say like this, I believe Forever Night probably would have lasted a little bit longer if we had like the internet like we do now, but it was still a syndicated series, and it was like one of those late night shows you had to catch on TV somewhere. Then we had Moonlight on CBS, which was just the wrong network to have it on.
Right.
And then, you know, but then like Ricky said, when Twilight came out and everybody was looking for those new, like they wanted the new trilogy. And then they started repackaging those Secret Circle books, because I remember when the Secret Circle was just like a small, not the Secret Circle, but the Vampire Diaries. It was like these 3 books about the size of a Fear Street novel. But then they started condensing all those books into like volumes. And then it became like, oh, this is new. No, baby, this was out when I was in high school. You know, like,
that's the 90s. Like Vampire Diaries is really not a new series itself.
Nope.
Exactly.
The times changed and allowed for, and I hate to say it because I like Twilight, but there's things in it I don't like, but like Twilight really opened the gate. It really said, okay, people love vampires again, and so and more kind of werewolves. Even though we'll talk about that later, even though werewolves get shaded, but Twilight opened the gate.
And I think it gave an opportunity to give some better backgrounds and better folklore on vampires. I mean, like Twilight doesn't really count in that sense of like a good vampire folklore, but like once you get your foot in the door for some vampires, you can get some good folklore from everywhere else.
And if you know how to use their folklore to your advantage and not just rehashing something somebody else did before. And but it was one now with the kids and stuff, it was Twilight. Now for me, The Lost Boys was just I think that's when I first fell in love with vampires. And it wasn't because of the homoerotic tone, because I didn't know what the fuck that was. It was just that atmosphere. Like, you have like these guys who are looking so cool. The soundtrack, I remember first time seeing that shot of the ocean or the shore, and then it panning up to that. That is beautiful. That is one of the most beautiful scenes ever in cinematic history.
I'll watch that tonight.
And then when you have the soundtrack come in with Cry Little Sister, and it was just like, that was it. That was it for me. Because all that shit meshed together, and that was like our Twilight. You know what I'm saying? And so
I agree.
And it just
Buffy was my Twilight album. accept that. But
Come on, my guess.
I'm
gonna say True Blood was mine just because.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I love The Lost Boys too. I grew up on it as well. But as far as like a TV show and something that's long running, and development of characters, I'll say True Blood was for me. Even though if you watch some of those seasons now, they're problematic as hell. But yeah, that was like my version of
True Blood was it.
They both came out around the same time.
Yeah.
True Blood came out in like 2008, and I think Twilight came out around that same time too. And I watched like the first movie, I read the book, and I'm just like, this is not for me. I'm outgrowing this shit. I just can't get with it. I need blood. I need gore. I just couldn't get with Twilight. So when Vampire Diaries came out and True Blood, that's when I was like, this is more of my thing, and I was obsessed with it.
I think it's like for me, it went from, like I said, The Lost Boys, but also around the same time period, I had discovered Fright Night and Fright Night Part 2.
Yes.
And so it was like, yes. So when you get Lost Boys, Fright Night Part 2, and then you get introduced to Interview the Vampire in 1994, that's when I was going through my vampire phase.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'll just hit this neck. Give me all this, this is just opulence all around. Then they came out with The Craft in 1996. And I was like, oh, I want to float. I want to sit there and cast spells to these motherfuckers at school. I want to do all this shit. And so it was
I was in third grade with my pencil trying to do what Sarah was doing.
I'm saying, like, witches are never not popular. Witches are never like out of style. That's
you said, they've always been popular. I think humanizing witches, werewolves, and vampires is more recent.
Very good.
Right.
Buffy, everything from that point on. So you can see yourselves in creatures that were normally considered villains. Like Klaus Michelson, you understand why he is that way. Nancy, you understand why she is that way.
I don't think she's still a villain.
She's a villain, but I understood why, and I still love her. And villains on Buffy, villains on all these shows, you get an understanding of who they are. And it's not just they just have fangs that eat people. So
right. This is like, honestly, this is where you really get to see like the start of not necessarily like woobifying like bad guy characters, but like getting the backstory to the antagonist, so like you can have some understanding of those. And those are great stories, unless you overdo having to give them all redemption arcs. Like they're not all bad guys in redemption arcs.
No, yes, you had a bad childhood, but you still made the choice to kill this village.
You're still a sociopath. I'm sorry. Hi, Parker. Malachi Parker. That's why you're in the prison world.
Yes, Malachi Parker. You killed your woman.
You're a sociopath. I'm sorry.
And also, we grew up with stuff like the Wicked Witch of the West, and then we had what's another witch that was
Glinda.
No, I'm talking. Well, you had Glinda, but it was just like I'm just saying, like she was like the good witch. You mean Legend?
Yeah, the witch that was in the swamp. The witch.
Oh yeah.
So
and the Grand High Witch. That was the Grand High Witch.
Yes.
Then the Sanderson sisters, like they didn't have no humanizing with them, and so just like those were pre-Craft. The Craft. Well, so the Craft came out. Samantha. Oh right.
She was,
but it was like that was a comedy. That was a comedy though.
No,
Bewitched.
Damn, thank you, Michael. You took it back to Teen Witch. I forget about Teen Witch.
But then, like, that's like early Sabrina too. So like, and not like Chilling Adventures, but like early like Melissa Joan Hart. Because there was a whole Melissa Joan Hart had like a Sabrina movie before they did the sitcom.
Come on, Clarissa.
Right.
Yes.
Explains it all.
But I think even though Craft was like, I mean, even though we had like a positive representation of witches, like you said, Teen Witch, and then Sabrina, like those type of teenage witches and stuff like that. But I feel like the Craft just touched something in a generation that was just so tired of being ostracized for being who they were. You know what I'm saying? Because even though,
show your shirt. This is perfect for what you're talking about.
Because even though, can y'all see me now? Oh shit!
Not at all.
He learned a spell. Hold on.
Oculus Reparum.
Oh shit! I'm sorry, y'all. But anyway, It's just that when you see these girls and they all represent something that you right. Can y'all see me now?
It's fine. Yeah, now we can. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, you can see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just, I remember seeing the trailer for The Craft and damn near crying because one, I knew the song that was playing was How Soon Is Now, but it fit perfectly with it. And the thing with The Craft, the reason why it touched a generation of people is because it was people who did not have anything getting all this power. And then you had like people like Sabrina and even I forgot her name from Teen Witch. They had
Louise, I
had,
think.
Yeah, Louise. They still had, they didn't have to. They were nerds and stuff, but they still had shit. You know what I'm saying? They had the stable family. They were middle class, and they were it's like, okay, you're giving power to people who already have some sort of power. And then when The Craft came out, it was just like
you're giving it to real people.
I feel seen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So.
But what about, like, for me, I think my earlier Witcher movies outside of Hocus Pocus and Ursula, who I really love so much, I think The Witches of Eastwick is one of my favorite.
Yes.
And those three ladies slayed those roles, and I will watch that over and over and over as a child. Even now, I will watch it.
So like, I don't notice that necessarily like witchcraft in the sense that what we're talking about look like Teen Witch, but like Eve's Bayou, humanized. Yes. That felt more realistic to me, more than anything. Right, like that felt so more realistic to me.
And we definitely felt seen watching Eve's Bayou because, oh my God, these people look like us. They understand the supernatural realm. I'm not crazy, my heritage is
right. But like that really goes back to like how we deal with like how we talk to our ancestors. Like that's so black. That is so black.
Thank you for saying it, Ricky. Which is why I love the originals so much.
They could, and the thing is like the originals could have done more. The originals could have done more. They could have done way more.
100%.
They knew they fucked up with bodies. They were like, we gotta do something.
Don't start, Rick. Oh,
they're like, we gotta do something. But that brings up a good point.
I'm sorry, Ricky.
That was a good point because the next question was about representation.
Yeah,
but like across all three of them.
No, there's not.
I do think vampires get enough. Like I don't need to see too much about vampires that much more. Witches, to that point, I want to see different cultures of witches.
Justice for Bonnie Bennett.
And it doesn't even. I want to see Black culture, Black American witches. I want to see cultures from other countries. I want to see all that. Werewolves definitely. Werewolves get shit on.
Oh my God!
Listen,
so we need way more
Black male witches. How about that too? Like we
give me some more Vincent.
Yeah, because when I saw the Black male witch on the Vampire Diaries, that was the first time I actually.
Oh yes.
Oh, for Family Matters.
Yes.
So Greta's dad, and Greta's brother. Yeah.
When they showed their asses up on, because everybody's saying, are they related to the Bennetts? I'm like, not every Black person to show up on the Vampire Diaries has to be related to the damn Bennetts.
Right.
But I was like, the fact that they showed up, I was like, oh, we got male witches and they know they shit and everything. And even though we had Donald Faison as what's his name on Sabrina at that time, but it was just like he was a goofy witch.
Right.
He was goofy because he had to sit there and rub his head to do a spell. I'm like, no.
Don't do us like that. But let me tell you something. When Vincent starts shaking them hands,
the swag.
When you start rubbing them fingers together.
Yes. Like, how do you have so much swag in like just some little like I don't understand. Like
yes.
And looking at Vincent, like he's tall and lanky looking, and I wouldn't think anything of it, but like he starts doing some spells.
It's a wrap.
He's a good looking man.
Yes.
And I'm not trying to jump ahead, and I haven't seen the show, but I've heard about it, and I'm pretty sure somebody in this panel have heard about it. But as of late, with P Valley and them introducing the roots and stuff like that in the show, it's just like. That's what I'm talking about. Like, let these people know that this is where this shit originated from. This is how we fucking made it. This is how we're here now. A lot of folks don't realize that. Because one of my friends said it best. They said all this shit y'all talking about, some of the stuff that y'all do, like putting peas in your wallet or your purse at the beginning of the New Year's to bring in money and stuff like that, and other certain things that you do on a daily basis that your grandmama or your grandma told you or something like that.
Feet, all that stuff. All this
shit all originated from us. And it's like, we brought it over from, you know, the mainland. And a lot of people don't get that. And I be saying, like, y'all be so pro-black, but then y'all sit there and say shit that is like,
when it comes to that, this witchcraft, I don't get into that voodoo stuff.
And the thing is that particularly with the certain generation of the Black community, like, we cover up those rituals, those superstitions with Christianity. We name it differently to cover it up, and it's been so diluted over the decades that you forget where it comes from. All those superstitions that we all like, don't sweep my feet, don't do this and this, don't whatever. Like, where y'all think that came from? Like, why? There's nothing about that in the Bible.
Exactly. Right. And I mean, if you start off Our Father who art, what do you think you're actually doing? That's an invocation.
Right.
It's an invocation.
That's a spell. Prayers are just spells. And it's just crazy that we've been so proselytized.
Child, I hope your mother watch this episode. She's not going to end up arguing.
My folks are real religious. They'll sit there and say, I know good damn well, you bring your ass back up here, we can have a long ass conversation.
But I got like 5 preachers as uncles and aunts. I already know I'm gonna hear it.
Well, you know what you call it. This same friend also told me, he said, hell, some of the people who be shouting in church on Sunday mornings be the same ones going home and working root magic, and y'all don't be knowing it.
They don't even know that they're doing.
So you're filled with the Holy Ghost? That sounds like possession. So I'm confused with that.
I mean, you got a prayer closet. That sounds like altar.
I mean, it really is magic at the end of the day.
The Bible is filled with magic. The blood, the body.
With Christ's love, okay?
I am filled with Christ. Yeah, I agree with that. I think that what was it?
Representation.
Yeah, I think that, like this picture right here.
Yes, Calypso
And Prudence they could have their own little spinoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I begged for Prudence and what was Sabrina's cousin? Ambrose Spellman.
Yeah.
Listen.
Those two together were everything to me.
Yes. And you know what, Ricky? When I first saw Sabrina, the Children of Sabrina, when Ambrose was with that white dude, I was not having it. I was not cool with it. I was like, no, I don't like him. First of all, he seems suspect. Mm-hmm. And all this shit, you gonna go for him? Come on now, no. Then when he ended up with Prudence, I was like, look, I'm glad that Ambrose is paying, but I would love to see a show with him and Prudence fucking shit up together and then just making all kinds of beautiful babies.
That's
what
all
I'm
saying.
This picture of Prudence is from, I think, towards the end when they were hunting.
Yeah.
Black.
That's my favorite look of hers.
Right.
When they were in New Orleans.
Yeah.
I was all about some Prudence from the very beginning. Like,
me too.
I loved her.
Because she could have easily been one of the other sisters. They made her the queen of they made her the top sister.
That part.
And then I remember the episode where she had to do the winter solstice. Was the winter solstice?
She became the queen. Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and they would get ready to they would get her prepared to eat her. I'm like, y'all better not do none of, because you know this is Netflix. She could be gone next episode. I'm like, y'all better not do none of Prudence.
Right. I will stop watching the show in a second.
And Prudence Lady. And I think this is a good point to interject justice for Bonnie Bennett. We've been saying that and mentioning her. So Ricky. I told I think Bobby that if anybody's gonna stand for Bonnie Bennett, Ricky will stand for Bonnie Bennett. Ricky,
bring it.
As she should.
Bonnie Bennett.
So Bonnie Bennett. Okay, so here's my thing though. So my relationship with the Vampire Diaries and the fandom and the universe is very complicated, mainly because of this character right here. Love this character, but the way that they wrote her is very flawed. Is extremely flawed. The point where we have our magical Negro mammy right here. That's what she was.
Yeah.
Magical Negro Mammy. And then this is something that because I've been getting into it on TikTok with folks about it, but like the way that she grew into her magic compared to all the other witches in the series. Like the entire TVD universe is disappointing and heartbreaking, and it's par for the course. So when we think of the witches on the show, most of them on the show have covens. Most of them, if they're not a coven, they have a mentor that is been teaching them. So like in this case, you think of Freya. Freya wasn't in a coven, but Freya had Dahlia, and Dahlia was stronger than Esther.
Yes.
We can admit that.
Yeah.
Dahlia is stronger than Esther. Okay, so that's what Freya got. Hope Michelson, she's got Freya. She's got a school. Thank you. When you talk about who can win in a fight, Bonnie or Hope, you got to keep in mind the advantages that Hope has had over Bonnie from the moment that girl was born. Privilege. Because she's got an aunt in Freya. She's got now an aunt in Davina Claire. If you look at her and Cole, whatever. Yeah. But she also has access to Esther Michelson's grimoire. And she's at a damn school for her supernatural kids.
And what did Bonnie get?
Nothing.
A teacher that tried to prey on her.
Right.
She was learning how to raise feathers on her own.
Right. Exactly. And like even the Gemini coven, was a coven. They had a whole coven. Davina Claire, she had the whole world of New Orleans. She had the quarter witches. She had a whole coven.
She had Esther's grimoire given to her by Klaus too. Yep.
Exactly.
You hit some deep shit. Ooh.
Right. And then like Bonnie is like, she finds out when she's 16, like she doesn't even know she's a witch. These people grew up knowing they're witches. She didn't get to grow up until she was 16. By the time she turned 16, now she's being asked to complete like hella difficult magic. Graham's is dead, so no one's there to teach her. Mom doesn't practice magic anymore because she's abandoned her, and then she's turned into a vampire. She can't help her there. One cousin you see one time, and the next time we see her, she's dead.
Lucy.
She's right there.
And your friend's taking advantage of you
exactly
every week.
And I ain't trying to cut you off, Ricky, because everything you broke down is the reason why I kind of stopped watching the show.
And that's a very valid reason.
And because I remember at the end of season 3, when they graduated, and up until that point, okay, so when they graduated, and then I said Bonnie Bennett, because I was writing about the Vampire Diaries when it first came out for a website. I said Bonnie Bennett has went from being like the best friend who could sit there. She would come and help them out anytime they needed it. She sat there, lost her grandmama, because I love Grahams. I love Jasmine Guy's Grahams. I said y'all got rid of her entirely too soon.
Yes.
Got rid of Graham. She found her mom, and then tried to connect with her. Then they come out. Was it Klaus that killed her mom? Somebody killed her mom.
No, Elijah killed her mom.
Elijah, bastard.
No. Damon killed her mom. Damon killed her. Yeah, due to a situation with Elijah. Yes.
Right, and that shit pissed me off. So I'm like, okay. Then she sits there and gets the only person she has left now is her father. Her father gets killed.
Oh, that was a good ass scene. Her reaction.
That was
so good in that scene.
This is crazy though, because you mentioning this makes me think. Because even your background photo, her story is she. Like many of us, we don't know our ancestors. We don't know any of that history. We have to seek it out and find it. All these other characters you mentioned, and they know all the shit because it's given to them and it's told.
Right.
So her journey is completely different.
Right. So and then at the end of the day,
that picture's so powerful too. That picture is so powerful.
And then at the end of the day, the thing that killed me the most was that she sacrificed her fucking life
multiple times
for that damn group of kids. And then when they got to college, she sat there and they was like, "Where's Bonnie?" Like she said she's gonna be here, and I'm like, "Y'all are that fucking dense that y'all don't realize y'all's best friend is gone. Like y'all haven't seen her."
Girl, fuck Elena. I don't like her. I do not.
No one liked Elena.
I was so over it because I was like,
but Elena, no, I don't like her.
I was like, y'all, I was just
was my girl.
And I hated when white people would come in and tell me, like, because I was like so glad to see a black witch on the show and being the most powerful. She like, for me, I looked at it from this point right here. Y'all can't do shit without her.
Ooh,
y'all can't do a damn thing without her. And so I'm that's what I'm looking at in the that's how I looked at it. That's the only thing I can try to take from it. The only good thing I can take from it. None of you motherfuckers can make a step on either side of the faction without her damn help.
And I just want to roll back.
Go ahead. No, I was just going to say, y'all, I had somebody white tell me, but it's the magical Negro trope. I said, I don't need you to tell me what this is.
I know that. Thank you.
I said, I'm going to take a win. I'm going to take a win. Because again, they used to say, because I had people come and tell me, like, well, you know, Bonnie's so damn disrespectful. She's so rude because she's very selfish. No. Bitch, she has lost family members.
Thank you.
Family members.
Ooh, the way that I get heated in little Vampire Diaries.
With shit that had nothing to do with her.
Right.
Nothing to do with her.
They're like, well, she did this herself. No one asked her to do these things. Y'all, she's damn she do and damn she doesn't, because y'all would get pissed at her. Y'all get pissed at her for talking sideways to Damon when he deserved that shit.
Damon deserves every
but if she didn't help them out like y'all want her to, y'all friends would be dead and y'all still be pissed at her. So and what is the truth?
I've noticed.
The truth is that her ancestors created all y'all hoes.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So let's. Yes. I'm sorry, but but we know, and that's the crux of the issue is that the Julie Plec. I'm calling it out. Julie Plec. Y'all put in so much of the effort to making her heritage, her lineage, so integral to the entire Vampire Diaries universe, but yet you want to make this one character so expendable. Make that make sense. You can't do nothing without writing Bennett magic being the start of everything. The start of the immortality spell, which then became the start of the vampire spell, which is how we got the other side, which is how we like this. That has something to do with the werewolf curse, which is all this other stuff. Like the reason why we got this, and that. I mean,
thank you, Ketsia.
Right, thank you.
They can't function without her.
Sheila Bennett's the reason why y'all got out of prison world for Kai Parker.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And that Belle. The whole Belle scenario in the end.
Right, exactly. And you trying to tell me that Bonnie Bennett is not important to anything in the storyline?
If anything, y'all should be protecting her ass.
Thank you.
Answer to everything.
Yep. It's funny because it reminds me of Coven, that scene between Jessica Lange and Angela Bassett in the hair salon. Mm-hmm. And they were basically comparing the histories of like who created what magic, who stole what, who's the more powerful one. And it's really interesting thinking about the differences. And y'all gotta be really I'm gonna have to go back.
It's not really that different. You think about it. Black people have always been magical, and white folks came and stole this shit. Yeah. And and we are like, you know, just not rediscovering our roots and stuff like that. But yeah, I think that Julie Plec, if you want to, she keeps saying, "Well, I'm gonna keep the TVD universe alive." If you want to keep it alive, get some black writers to show run a show about the Bennett family and just step your ass out.
Exactly.
Just put your name on it.
Yes. So this particular like background right here is from the series finale of Vampire Diaries, where, of course, in order to save the whole town of Mystic Falls, Bonnie Bennett is the key to stopping what was like, it's called Hellfire. Yeah. And so you see her, you can see Lucy in the background, but like on one side is one of her ancestors, like from one of the early days of Mystic Falls, like later than Emily. I don't remember. It wasn't Emily. It was later than Emily. Okay. Or as after Emily. And then you have Grams on the side. But like that ancestor on this side was very close to Matt Donovan's ancestor too. So like when you really started to see the start of the town. But like you see this right here, you see all these black women in the back. Beautiful. And like for 3 seconds, I was like, I would die for a Bennett spinoff. But then I was like, but I know who writes this stuff. I would not trust Julie Plec, none of them to write to write this with any type of nuance. You're talking about writing a show about a family of Black women witches?
I know who could do it. Ava DuVernay. If she got her hands on a story and created a show, I think that show would be amazing.
That would be amazing. But like I said, like it can't, like the people that are over that series right now I don't trust them to do this with any type of nuance. And they've shown me over the years that, like, even with the originals, and like the originals did a lot better with the witch folklore, but like it's New Orleans. You didn't have any more Black people than what you had.
Exactly.
Listen.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like that just lets me know that y'all just doing a lot of talking.
All the Black witches were in the Treme Coven, which is rude, just for the record.
Very rude. I didn't know that because I didn't get that far in that show either. I didn't even start on Legacy because I was just so pissed off because I started recognizing all the shit. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to go through this with y'all again. So
exactly.
But yeah, I think somebody, if Julie Plec, if you listen to this, you come across, you sit there, look at the hashtag Vampire Diaries, the original or whatever. Look, just sit there and say, I'm gonna put my name on this, but I'm gonna choose a showrunner and like not have any interference with the stories. And she come in like, well, no. You maybe showrunner.
And it can't just be Black. You got to see what that person's thought process is, their other projects.
Yeah.
That doesn't automatically mean that they're going to actually do what needs to be done.
Right,
exactly. Understanding of what we're talking about. Because we're talking about magic. Bonnie's magic, she did a lot of spells in Latin, which does not translate to our heritage, which is fine because, you can learn different practices across the generations. But I want them to show like what that looked like because Ketsia, and she did Latin too, which is weird. But thank you, Julie Plec. But
so you're saying you respect the new Charmed ones? That's what you're saying? Right?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm trying to start a fight.
Who brought them up in here? Who said that?
There's only one Charmed one. Do I respect the other show that came out that falsified and called themselves?
I'm just fucking with you. You don't have to go into.
Yikes! I'm just saying, like, there is so much that they did a little bit better with the originals. As far as the folklore, I mean, like even with like the werewolves, were like it was clearly based in like native indigenous, some indigenous history, but like it's a lot of surface level, and there was very little effort to actually get to the root of it, to expound upon it because why?
There were very few werewolves that lived in poverty in the originals. Very few vampires who didn't live in poverty. And there were Black, which was surprising for the New Orleans Bayou.
Thank you.
Marcel was great.
Marcel.
Marcel was a slave.
Yes, he was.
He was a slave, yeah.
He was rescued by the Michelson, bless his soul. But he became a hybrid or he became the ultimate thing?
He became the ultimate hybrid.
Yeah, he did.
Marcel.
Yes.
I remember when they casted Marcel. Huh?
I was thinking of a Black werewolf on original.
That's on Legacy. I know there's one on Legacy.
They are on Legacy. Yeah.
I didn't watch that.
Yeah, Legacies.
Yeah, I didn't
only got to the end of first season of Legacies, and I was happy to see the more representation on there with kids. Like I was like, oh, more Black
kids. You definitely have
more
and
vampires and werewolves. It's pretty
more Black men, I guess I should say.
But ask me because I finished it. Ask me how they did with their storylines. It's okay to have a picture of somebody that's Black, but what do you do with the storyline? A damn thing,
right?
Who?
A damn, and they survived to the end.
But that's also around the same time that Julie Plec was trying to, especially around like the George Floyd stuff, where they're, CW was talking about their diversity and having more diverse stories when it was really all talk because all of it stayed the same. Like your most diverse cast was Jane the Virgin, and
oh yeah.
Speak on it, sis. Because I mean,
I just
and Jane the Virgin.
And can we talk about and we're gonna talk about representation, and we still talk about representation in the what you call it, the Secret Circle.
Mm-hmm.
I think her name was Melissa, or was it? I forget what her name was.
Melissa, who still looks the same age.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the light skin one?
Yes, because see, the thing with that was what pissed me off about that. Even though I love the actress, when you saw the whole cast together, like in a cast photo, you couldn't tell that she was black because she was so airbrushed bright. And then when they got her on the show, they had storylines for everybody on there, but for her, her storyline was tied to the dude who got killed
in the first few episodes. In love girl.
Right. And she was always the weak one out of all of them because she was listening to what Faye would say and then trying to sit there and do what Cassie would say. And it was just like, girl, you need to stand on your own 2 feet. And again, that was written by Julie Plec, I believe. And so I was like, y'all don't know what to do with y'all black characters at all. And so I just got,
of course.
Huh?
How could they know what to do?
Also,
they didn't have nobody black on the set.
Don't get me
nobody
wrong.
Black behind the right.
I'm not about to be a witch and only use my powers when I'm with other people. That's gonna piss me off.
I'm first of all, you're not gonna film my show up near Atlanta and not give me a decent wig either.
Exactly.
How you don't know your way to Greenbrier Mall? Okay,
okay, get it right. Okay, so Secret Circle, that was one of my favorite shows, and I'm still pissed at CW, and they were canceling it.
Yeah,
thank you.
Right now,
exactly.
They being bought and sold like they were us.
Me and TaMon put that down. Me and TaMon put that down cursing them a long time ago. I said they did the whole Whoopi Goldberg silly for Color Purple thing. Until you do right by me, everything you do go fail. I told the CW that I said y'all fucked up
and that's why you ain't make no money.
None.
No money.
But Ricky got the ultimate shade in the article. It said the CW's demographic is 50-year-olds. Bitch, y'all need to shut the whole thing down.
Their average viewer is 50.
What?
Yes.
Yeah, it's 58. Yeah.
Yes.
And can they say that everybody? It is because only 58-year-old people watch the show, watch everything on their 50 to 58-year-olds. They don't stream anything. So everything linear is usually from somebody who is of that age. Linear streaming. But
and you don't have to have cable to watch CW, so that's local television.
And the thing is, 9 times out of 10, they on the couch sleep, drooling while the shit's on TV. They saw the 6 o'clock news.
They watch reruns of Family Guy. That's what they do.
Exactly.
A little amount of representation. They probably mad at what they seeing already on there. I'm assuming it's 50-something-year-old white people. I'm sure black people have an issue. Some black people have an issue watching shit like this. But I would love if we could get some like culturally accurate shit for people to watch and enjoy, have some good story. It has to be by black people. It just has to be for it to make sense. You can have white writers, but if you're trying to get cultural shit in there, you can't just have them writing and then asking a question to somebody thinking it's going to work. That's not.
And don't even pass them the script. Say, can you write this storyline for me for Issa or something like that? No. Give me the whole goddamn show.
Right.
I mean, to be perfectly honest, Lovecraft is a great example of what that looks like. Because that was a witch story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They was casting spells left and right, and this shit didn't have no Latin. It didn't have that much Latin in it. It was very much,
She made it her own language. She combined Western, Swahili and Russian to make her language. Brilliant.
I mean, Lovecraft Country was just, again, when the book came out, I was disappointed when I found out a white man wrote the book. But then they got this, the TV show was coming out, and then Misha Green's behind. I was like, this might be something. And then they said Jordan Peele. I was like, oh, we good. And then, and then when that shit came out, it just felt like every week. Bobby because we did this on his Bobby Like the Spooky channel. I cried almost every goddamn episode. Every episode was just powerful because especially the one about when the third episode when she not that was the third episode when she called all those people. Woo! Yeah, she called all them people. Yes, I was like, this face just wet. Like, yes, God, yes, this is what I've been wanting right here.
Journey
But-
Smollett.
Wow.
Thank you, Journey Smollett. From Eve's Bayou all the way up to this. You've been working.
Right.
We've been working the supernatural angle. She's our I'm gonna dub her the Laurie Strode, not the Laurie, the Jamie Lee Curtis of horror, because
She's getting some more.
I don't know
stuff.
about all that now.
You know, I
I'll
think
give her
Keke
some.
Palmer's gonna start dabbling some more.
oh yeah, Keke Palmer. What she got? We got Scream Resurrection. We got
Scream Queen.
Queen. She did Scream
Scream
Queen too.
Queen.
Animal or beast or
Animal.
This shit pissed me off. I was so mad at that damn shit.
I was
so
okay
mad.
with it. They caught me off guard because I really thought what happened wasn't going to happen.
I just don't like her scream. That's it. But we've listed a lot of shows that we love, but who are our top witches that we love in some of our TV shows? Favorite witches?
How many? Is there a limit? Because I feel like we can go for hours with this. How many witches can we pick from our list?
Let's do
Let's
one
do
from
two.
each.
Yeah, one from each. Yeah, one from
Each.
each. I like that. Yeah, one from each.
One from TV and one from film.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, I throw mine out there. From TV, I'm gonna put out there. Jesus, this is kind of hard.
I knew it. See?
Willow Rosenberg,
Yes, God.
Mm-hmm.
only because her journey. I just liked her journey as a witch, and she found herself through witchcraft, and so that's the great thing.
Yeah.
In film, y'all see my girl right here. Rochelle Zimmerman.
Hey, Rochelle.
Because that was the first time that I saw a black witch on screen. You know, I was always told that black people never touch this shit. We don't do witchcraft. We don't believe in it and none of this stuff. And
Just done.
when I come, and then you grow up and you be like, I've been lied to all my entire life. So Rochelle was the one who started that journey for me. So that's mine.
I love Willow because Willow, like, what Buffy, like, there's very little talk about like being born into witchcraft. Like, it's just very much something you pick up and you perfect.
Study.
Mm-hmm.
And not only did she perfect it, but she became so powerful to the fuck to like she
She's
shook
the
the
goddess.
entire earth.
Dark Willow
Yes.
is my jam.
Dark Willow.
Yes.
That's
And everybody was trying to tell me like, well, I said, no, y'all don't understand. When you get pushed so many times and you've had so much shit happen to you, you tend to snap. And that's all she did. She had a moment of where she just snapped.
You
And it
just
was
shot
just like,
my lover.
Right.
right.
In
I'm
front of
gonna
me.
send all these books.
And you, and
Yeah, in
that,
front of
and,
me.
and that shit was meant for me. That was
Right.
the thing. That shot was meant for her.
Right.
The
And-
fact that you knew it was on and popping when she told Osiris to go away.
yeah.
After you told me you weren't gonna bring her back, get out of here. You keep
Right.
the whole god back.
A
Osiris.
whole god.
the thing about Buffy is they'll only make justifications for crazy shit Buffy does, not anybody else on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I
I think that. Go ahead, TaMon.
No, I'm saying I'll take that. No, that's all I have.
No, I was just saying that for me, when she went and she just had a moment of she was grieving. Granted, she could have killed an innocent, but everybody she went after was not innocent. They had blood on their hands. So she was karma
Laid him
incarnate.
alive.
Yes.
Board now.
That's
Yes.
yes.
That callback had me screaming. And I was sitting in the house like this.
Wait.
And my sister
Dark
came.
Willow.
Oh, I'm sorry, Bobby. We should have put you on mute.
I'm sorry.
You should love
Right
Dark
here.
Willow.
I didn't say who she played alive. I'm just
Yeah,
oh,
but
shit.
my
I
sister,
love Dark
Sorry.
Willow.
my sister sat there, and my sister sat there.
I
and
seen
watched on the
clips.
screen.
I seen clips of Dark Willow. I remember passing by when it was like premiere on TV. Like I seen her like I guess
Yeah.
possessed or some shit like
The
that,
bang.
or just spazzing out on a couple of people.
Mhm.
Yeah, I seen clips, but I didn't know exactly what the hell was going on.
And she still was so powerful. She's still so powerful. Because I'm gonna be honest, I don't know anything about Freya. Because me and TaMon had this conversation a long time ago about Freya, and I didn't follow Piper's Ascension and Charmed.
Yeah.
So my whole thing was just Willow Rosenberg, because I was looking at the lore of Buffy and the fact that she went from almost destroying the world to doing something so extraordinary in the last episode. It was just like, damn, girl, you came from being like a math whiz to this. And even in the auxiliary shit that comes after Buffy, she's still out here whooping ass, and folks still are terrified of her.
Mhm.
And she wasn't born into this shit; she just picked it up, and it just became a natural fit for her.
Pure, like the pure characteristic of someone that is always like searching for knowledge. Like she's like an intelligent person. Like she's constantly learning, and so like when you have something like witchcraft where it can just go on forever in different ways that you can learn it. And yeah, that was really part of her personality.
Right. So my two was Rochelle Zimmerman and Willow Rosenberg. I'm so interested what y'all got to say.
This is hard for me. Anybody want to go?
I nominate Bobby.
I love that. I second.
So moved.
This is hard. I only got like a few people, so it's hard for me to choose out of this list. But I guess with TV, I'm going back and forth between Fiona Good and Prudence. But I'm gonna choose. Even though I love me some Prudence, I'm gonna choose Fiona Good.
Absolutely.
Who's the best?
Yeah, do it. Right. You got the head. Yeah, you got the head. She was just chaotic in that fucking show, and she just was iconic. And I think that was one of her best roles. And even though Jessica Lange don't like that season, I feel like that's one of her best roles.
She gave us bad bitch energy as soon as she stepped on the stage, and Fiona was every.
Yes.
Fiona.
I mean, she sat there and just defined a generation. She became everybody's auntie. She became everybody's auntie overnight. Like, yo,
child,
she invited to the cookout.
And sometimes we talk about Cordelia, right? I don't know if anybody has her. She's not mine. I'm just saying. But like Cordelia and her season in Apocalypse, and I think about how would Fiona handle this? That should have been over.
Right.
So all of that.
I'm sorry, Fiona would have not only tried to kill Michael, she would probably try to sit there and have the whole goddamn warlock.
The warlocks were dead. That meeting? Oh yeah. I'm the fucking supreme. Next snap.
I mean, Fiona Good is basically Medea if Medea had magic. I'm going off of reaction only. I don't care about logic. I'm doing what I want to do. To me, that's the perfect witch. I can do whatever the fuck I want, and what are y'all going to do about it?
Nothing.
That to me is the perfect witch to watch.
Nothing at all. Incendia. We'll see you later. Okay.
And as far as movie, again, this is a struggle for me, but I'm gonna do something a little different. I'm gonna go with the Grand High Witch from The Witches.
Okay.
Angelica Houston.
Thank you.
Slayed that entire fucking role with just a single look. Is just iconic. Queen. That's all I'm gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
I can watch that whole scene with them in the conference room and just don't see anything else from the movie. That's just the whole scene.
Me too.
And my favorite line of her, I use two lines of hers. One is, he must be exterminated immediately. Immediately. Find him. And then also the other one is like you should say,
when she's describing turning into something. Oh.
No, this meeting is over until next year. I'm like, oh shit. When they start clapping, I start clapping too. Like next year.
Queen.
She was bad as fuck in that movie too. And thank you, Anne Hathaway. You did a nice current rendition for this generation, but let me tell you something. You don't got nothing no more to test you out.
Nothing.
And speaking of favorite TV witch, honestly, like I had a few and I was really thinking about it, but I love Morticia. I love Morticia. Morticia is a witch.
Yeah, she is.
She is, and particularly Angelica Houston's Morticia.
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll see what Catherine
She
Zeta
had a whole thing with her. What's it called? greenhouse.
Mhm.
Like she stayed coming up with like, having the right posters and flowers and shit later. I never could that line, like, I can forgive you for all this other shit though, but Debbie.
Pastel.
Yes.
Have your
Debbie went off. That set her off.
Look, Debbie didn't realize that those were really her
My
people.
Right, Ricky, they didn't realize they were her folks.
Those were her folks. She didn't realize those were her folks. They would have been down for her. She just.
That's my favorite part of that movie, Mark, by the way.
Because it was a read.
They would have wrote for her.
Or you or that. Talking about the damn baby.
He loved his house. He loved his country. What about Debbie? Sorry, Debbie. No Mercedes.
Look, and honestly, like her little rant was low key, like relatable. Honestly,
It was relatable.
Right. I love my Barbie dream house too.
I was a ballerina.
That's why my nieces asked for one last year. I went ahead and got on one. I said, baby, get your Barbie a dream house because I don't want you sitting here.
Right. I ain't gonna be this. You ain't gonna be in electric chair. No, thank you.
My little Barbie.
Malibu.
Yes.
Malibu Barbie.
Make it plain. Make it
She
plain.
had to go. She had to go.
And the grandma, an axe that takes me back.
See, those were people. She didn't know. She didn't know how good she had it.
Oh my God.
And Ricky, are we to assume that your TV show witch is Bonnie Bennett?
Bonet.
Yes. Mainly because I'm so passionate about how they had her fucked up and how they could have done her so much better. It just,
And then hearing all the stuff after the fact on filming and stuff while she was on.
Oh, she had it rough.
Oof.
Did she read an article recently saying something about that?
She hasn't spoken about it. She has not specifically spoken about it. She has made like inferences to things. Now, like, she did talk about how like they didn't want her to have wear her natural hair for Bonnie.
I didn't hear that.
They didn't. They did not, like, Julie Peck. They specifically said do not. She has to.
No, man, take the curls out.
Right.
You
And the
want me to
wigs
do
weren't even
spell
good.
and save this, and I gotta do this hair every damn day like this.
Right.
No.
Look, Prudence had to do her own finger waves. Let's not play.
She did. She's like, listen, nobody's not touching this. I got it myself.
Which is a real thing on set. Black women have said, like, I just gotta bring my own people or do my own hair.
Candace Patton is the whole podcast episode about it.
Who did?
Candace Patton.
Oh yeah.
They played Iris West. West Alice in the Flash.
I know she ready to get off that damn show.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm so glad season 9 is the last season. But no, like, she had a whole thing about how, like, yes.
It's good. It's just the same thing on every season, but
I mean,
Exactly.
But yes, so I would have. So if not Bonnie Bennett, Marie Laveau from Kevin.
Marie Laveau.
TaMon.
My TV show witch is the Piper Halliwell from Charmed.
Damn it. Go ahead.
Charmed is my favorite TV show of all time, if you ever want to know. And Piper is my favorite, and she always has. It used to be Prue for like a first season. I still love Prue, but Piper is my girl. I love her journey. I love how she's so into love and loving her family, loving her kids, loving her sisters and her husband, and she will kill everybody for the people that she loves. And that's the type of person that I am. So I love that about her. And she's powerful.
See, and that's the Piper I didn't get a chance to witness, because when I left the show, they were trying to focus everything on Phoebe. And I did not like Phoebe.
Dude. Oh my God.
Oh, Phoebe.
I didn't like Phoebe. I didn't care for Phoebe.
Phoebe, bye.
Because it was like, promotional materials, every time they came out a new season, she was on the cover, like with the siren.
Yeah, Melissa Milano, and like, it's like
Milano.
Phoebe and Cole. There was a lot of Phoebe and Cole back and forth.
Yeah, I didn't care about that. I dipped out mid when all that was going on.
And she was the sexy sister. No shade. She was the sexy sister. So of course she's going to be on everything.
She was
responsible. And be like, oh, we can share this.
And then I come to find out after the fact that, oh, well, no, Piper was the strongest one. And I'm like, are y'all sure? Because Phoebe, they're like, baby, we watched the show. Piper was the strongest.
Who said Phoebe's the strongest one?
No, I said that for me, they were trying to make Phoebe as to be the most interesting one. You know what I'm saying? Because all the shit revolved around her. This whole
Phoebe was
whole
following
storyline.
her hormones and her wayward brain. She was
That
not.
part,
But see, because I think the thing that upset me the most about her was the fact that they went from her being the ditzy, unresponsible sister. And I know this character growth, but then they kind of like after Prue died, they try to make her be like more
middle sister.
The Piper almost, but not as like quirky.
right. And I was like,
It wasn't working.
girl. Exactly.
I
I'm like, girl.
I don't have any shade to any of the sisters because I love each and every one of their journey on that show. I love her love story. Her and Cole was a great love story. Was it toxic as fuck? Absolutely, it was toxic.
That ain't nothing but Buffy and Angel.
And that's a toxic relationship.
We're not gonna talk about Bangle, okay? There's gonna be no Bangle slander in this here.
Thank you. Thank
No.
you, Ricky.
I can't wait to
Bangle
go back and
slander.
rewatch this show. I feel like I'm
You should have been
Nah,
a spy.
Look,
I think I'm
no,
We
no.
We don't have to talk about that one bathroom scene. Okay, never mind.
Okay, yeah.
Your movie one.
Yeah, so Piper is my TV show pick. I love every last one of those girls show, and I really I should have said just the Charmed ones, honestly, as my top witch because they are unit like the Sanderson. But
There you go.
for my movie, it's Lamia from Stardust, played by Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yes.
That's random.
I know I thought she really slayed, and I'm a Michelle Pfeiffer stan, and it's not just
Yes.
blonde and pretty. It's because
big blonde and beautiful.
exactly.
I love Michelle
Yes.
Pfeiffer.
I love
Yeah.
Michelle Pfeiffer too.
Yeah,
I go
She
for
slayed as Lamia, and it's nothing. And since we were talking about witches, but we are talking about werewolves, take a drink because y'all dry. Y'all
I'm
throw-
big drinking. I'm taking a break to sip.
My
I can tell Mike is a little lit. I can
Is it
tell.
my turn yet?
Yeah. And on that
I
note,
thought you went already.
I had to make sure. I had to see which ones y'all said before I went on my list.
got his note cards out ready.
Okay.
So
Back to you, Mike.
y'all done took all my.
What the hell?
Well, so the TV ones, I think like most of us like the same people. I was gonna say Dark Willow. I think
Those are two different people.
I'm
would
gonna.
agree.
You know what? Dark Willow is so good because you said Willow, right?
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with Dark
Rosenberg.
Willow. I specifically like Dark Willow because Dark Willow is just about vengeance and just all my knowledge. I'm just about to. I don't give a fuck about. I don't even give a fuck about the Slayer bitch. All y'all get in my way. All y'all get in it.
When she let Giles have it, it was a problem.
Yes.
With your borrowed
So
man.
yeah, Dark Willow specifically. I mean, I like Nice Willow and all that, but Dark Willow is when I really was like, oh, I like her. I like her now. So that's one, and I love a bad witch. And for movies, I'm gonna go a little side. I'm gonna say Haggis from Pumpkinhead because she is scary as fuck, and
Okay.
she's scarier than Pumpkinhead to me. Actually,
She is.
she's like a rural witch, and I feel she has this ancient presence about her. She don't moisturize. I'm sure she doesn't wash. And so everything about her scene is always red in her place. It's everything about her is scary as fuck. So I really like Haggis from Pumpkinhead.
Wow.
I love it.
Yeah, that was
I love
random but great.
Yes.
Can I just say that I'm really loving this lip color right now? Like it's still like intact.
That's it.
It's still intact right now.
Looks
I really
great.
appreciate it.
Do we count Atticus? What's his name? From Lovecraft as a witch?
Tip?
Atticus.
Tick,
Oh,
yeah.
he is. I forgot.
I don't
So
know.
when I was thinking about this the other day, I was like about Hannah. I was like, nah, this bitch, she said, no, we go close this book. We're not gonna do no more magic after we leave Master's house. But would she be considered?
Christina?
I love Christina.
Christina was just amazing.
She was not even a villain
Yeah.
to me.
She was originally
Ambitious.
supposed to be the guy.
Oh yeah, in the book, yeah.
In the book, she was supposed to just be
Yeah.
the dude. And I'm glad they kind of did it the way they did it because she was a more,
It added another layer to it.
yeah, she was a better foe than another white man would have been. You know what I'm saying? So and she had her own little shit going on. So
I thought her character was everything. She looked amazing. Her wig was sort of decent. I liked her blue eyes. And I loved her motivation. Like she was, to me, I didn't think she was a villain. She was just ambitious. And she was like, I don't want to kill my cousin, but damn, I really want to get this spell done. I feel you, sis.
I've been on this mission for so long. It's, family been in there. But damn, right now.
I'll read this book. I won't harm none of y'all. No, ma'am, bitch. You're going to have to kill all of us for this book.
Mm-hmm.
I am so mad they didn't do a second. That whole Magic is Ours now would have been a perfect segue to a season 2 to see what else they could do.
It was going to be live, too.
I think they would have probably eventually introduced black werewolves. I think it would have eventually came down the line.
Oh, yeah.
I can see that. They were doing zombies already, so. And we'll be right back after this commercial. California.
Beep, beep.
Knows how to party.
Knows how to party.
California. Knows how to party.
Look, if I had the little sound machine, I would do it. Hey, right? No, that's the Rolling with the Homies from Cleveland. Rolling with the Homies.
Team Valley, California movie. Brittany Murphy. It ties in.
Rest in peace, Brittany Murphy.
Oh my God! Right, Brittany Murphy.
Yes, rolling with the
But also rest in peace, Brittany Murphy.
Yes, Brittany Murphy. Yeah, because you were slaying everything. Uptown Girls was my shit.
Right.
So we're gonna do something pretty fun, like chess mixed with Battleship, but witches. So this it's called Witch Wars. So what you see before you is our favorite witch TV shows, and who do we think will come out of this alive? We have the ultimate charmed ones at quadrant. Well, in math that would be quadrant 2, but for this sake, we'll do the first quadrant. We have the charmed ones, and then the right quadrant we have the Vampire Diaries universe, all the strongest witches they own. And then the bottom right, we have Sabrina, Chilling Adventures, and then we have Coven. This is deadly. I would want to actually see a movie of this and just sit back and have unlimited popcorn all day long.
Wait, it's the whatever group is going to survive or person?
No,
let's do a group because person, I don't know who would walk out.
We'd be here all night long.
Oh God!
And TaMon, you would die. You would die.
Oh, I would die. Yes. Let's take. Let's do this. Bobby, pick a group.
Child, this is.
You want me to choose a group?
Any group, yeah.
I gotta go first, man. Y'all go first. Y'all the
alpha. You the alpha.
I think the better.
Alpha werewolf. Okay.
Okay, Ricky, as our honorary Scream King, you pick.
I already picked Vampire Diaries.
Okay, Michael, you pick.
Coven.
Okay, Vampire Diaries versus the Coven House. So on this picture, we have 1, 2, 3 Supremes.
Oh, they gonna die. No, wait.
No. You've already selected.
I got a Tribrid. I got a Bennett Witch. I got a
Regent.
A Regent. What was Davina? She was a what?
She was a strict witch.
She was a harvest girl.
And a harvest girl.
Mm-hmm.
And
then,
oh Lord,
and an immortal witch.
I have 3 Supremes. Well, was Michael?
You're right.
No, he was the Antichrist.
He's the Antichrist, so yeah.
You have 3 Supremes.
Why the fuck is what's her name in this? Who? Why is Miss with the shades on? Why is she
Madison Montgomery?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Madison was 1 wonder away, so don't do her. Yes, don't do her.
Don't do her.
But listen, you got 3 Supremes and basically 4 Supremes. Angela Bassett is the same thing of her group, and then you have an Antichrist.
Yes.
So what we thinking? Let's vote. Who do we think is going to win that match?
Ooh, I'm gonna vote Coven. Shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Coven.
Ooh. I'm surprised by that. against like witches that are like, especially I forget her name. The one that
Dolly and Fiona gonna have a nasty fight.
Dolly, that's gonna be. I would love to see a scene between those two.
Yes.
Shit.
I don't know, because when you actually think about this, there's so many strengths that each of them have, each group have. So it's very difficult to choose one. Because now I'm going back and forth. Now I'm thinking about the Vampire Diaries.
Well, I can solve this for you. My witches save the world. Those just save like Mystic Falls in New Orleans and shit.
All right.
But Bonnie beats Hellfire, damn it.
Yeah, that's true too. But Mallory can go back in time. She can actually travel to all the Supremes can go to hell and back. And the Antichrist owns hell. Madison is still in hell.
Create this list.
So Bonnie Bennett brought herself back to life at least 3 times.
That's true.
Yeah. Bonnie has been back alive. So, and to be fair, I think that the Vampire Diaries group, they probably could perform the 7 Wonders.
Woo, that would be a sight to see.
Yes,
Vincent can't take the test. I'm sorry. That's first and
Why
foremost.
not?
Why?
Why not?
Vincent's a man.
Look, okay, fine. That's fine. You know, he can add some guidance because between the 5 women, they all perform different types of ancestral magic. So,
okay, 10 seconds. We need to vote.
Ooh. Also, I would just like to say Bonnie is carrying this group as well. My group is pretty more even keeled. Everybody's coming with some power. And Madison got a lot of mouth, and Fiona.
Madison, I'm putting Madison up against Davina, easy.
Yeah, Davina would fuck Madison up.
She would. She would.
No shade.
Madison
Davina
would actually mouth
out Madison. Yes, she would. So Madison's probably gonna die in this battle. Mallory will probably die in this battle. Cordelia
would surprise people.
No, ma'am.
She would.
Okay, let's vote. I'm voting for originals.
Yep.
Mark.
Coven.
Okay. Niklaus.
I'm sorry, Coven.
And Michael. Coven.
I'm going with Coven, obviously.
No, it's 3 against 2.
Oh, damn.
All right, goodbye, originals. You got shot.
Ooh.
Okay.
Which is shit because you know I would be able to take the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina.
Baby, listen.
You know they'd have been gone.
Ooh,
that ain't fair. That wouldn't be fair.
That is true.
Because that's some bullshit. Because you know they would have taken them out.
Do we even have to say Charm versus the Chilling Adventures universe?
That would have been first about, period.
But Lilith.
Yeah, but I mean, Wyatt probably
though.
will destroy all of them.
Oh God, that's who that is. I couldn't figure out who that was.
He's basically a demigod. So
who is that?
That's
Wyatt.
Those are the seasons
Hollywood.
I was like, I'm over it. When y'all start introducing these kids with time jumping and shit, I'm good.
So we have the Charm universe versus Chilling Sabrina.
I'm going to say
Charm.
Although they only save shit in like, where are they? San Francisco or some shit?
They saved the world. They remade the world. And
girl, I don't see them traveling all over the world. I see them staying their ass in their town, fighting people in their town.
And Sabrina stays in Greendale.
Or hell.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Sabrina.
Okay, one for Sabrina.
Even though I'm more more in tune with the Sabrina world. My problem with Sabrina is that Greendale is like 50 years in the past with the fashions and shit like that. So
the fashions.
the fashions are horrible. It's like they don't have anything modern there. Like
don't you talk about my aunties. Don't do that.
Right. We're talking about battle. We're not talking about with their wardrobes.
But it just seemed like they would want to be, I don't know. Look, I'm going to go with the Charmed ones because
they got more style than the Charmed one.
Wait a minute.
I give them that. I do give them that. No, they do. I will give them that.
Look what Cruz wearing.
I mean,
Prudence is not up there.
Yes,
True, Hollowell.
You said
Prue.
Prue.
No, Prue or Prudence. Those are two different folks.
Prue's up
Right.
there. Prue
No, somebody said Prudence. Who said Prudence?
Oh, well, I meant
Michael
Prue.
said Prudence.
Oh,
Man,
Prudence
I'm
is not
gonna
fighting to this
stop
battle.
I'm still gonna go with the Charms because
Why
I
didn't
feel
you
like
Why didn't you pick Prudence in this question?
We didn't make this.
You have to talk to Your Man
No,
Loves
I
Dre.
thought y'all made this.
No, shout out to Your Man Loves Dre. He did this. So
Oh yeah, it's right there at Your Man Loves Dre. Shout
But
out
I'ma
to
go-
Your Man Loves Dre.
I'm gonna go with the Charmed ones because I feel like they have like a history of witches behind them, and they can call up old bitches and shit like that. So I don't know. I'm going with the Charmed ones. I'm just shut up. I'm going with the Charmed ones.
yeah.
But I don't know. It's just if they had Prudence in there,
Ooh,
maybe.
I might. God, and I don't like the Sabrina show that much, but I feel like their magic for some reason seems like ancient. Like, oh God, could they?
Just say Charm, Michael. It's okay.
I really want to say Charm,
Yeah, just say Charm.
but I don't know. They got trouble fighting holes. I don't know if they can fight the rest of these people.
First of all, that was when they were still young. Don't do that. Don't do that.
And technically, they can't be 4 Charms ones at the same time. So one of these got to be X'd out.
They actually are 4 Charm ones in the comic books.
I'm gonna go with Charm.
All right, so that eliminates Sabrina. We'll see you later, Greendale girl.
Right.
So now we're left to the top 2. We have, oh God, the Charm, which are all Supremes. The Charm.
Boy, please.
We have Charm versus Coven. I'm gonna tell y'all
I haven't
now.
got this.
Don't
Haven't
do
got
this. Wyatt
this.
is a Supreme.
Bye, girls. Bye. By Prue, by
The fact
Phoebe, by
that they
Viper.
have enough time to have part-time or other jobs while being witches says a lot.
That's how
These
sick
Coven-
it is. That's how
These
sick
Coven
it is.
witches are witches all day, every day. They got to sit here, own a restaurant, be a
Yes, ma'am.
a reporter or a relationship guru where she got fucked up shit left or right. And one's dead. I don't remember what Paige does. But
Paige is in between jobs while you
Right.
so, I mean, really.
Okay, let's vote. Michael,
Coven.
Bobby,
Coven.
Mark.
Oh Jesus.
Yes.
Coven.
Minal.
Oh Jesus. My heart is saying Coven, but my mind and my final answer is gonna go to the
Go with
Charms.
your heart. Go with
Yes,
your heart.
yes,
You always say it.
lead with it. And Ricky,
Coven.
Ooh.
Yeah. Little bloated.
Leo.
No.
That's another
Okay.
thing. They always need a man saving them. That's the other thing.
I didn't like that, but okay. So Coven wins that battle. Congratulations, Coven. You are the baddest witches in town.
Yay.
All right, let's go to the next one.
And the next one.
There's another one?
Oh, God.
Now this time you need to pick which team you're on.
Wait.
I
God damn it, that is disrespectful.
Wait.
I never watched Salem.
Wait.
It's amazing.
Wait. I got to see who's who. What am I looking at?
All right, so Team A has Coven, New Charmed, and The Craft.
I like Witches of East End.
Yeah, that's
Team
a good
B
show.
has OG Charmed, Witches of East End, and Salem.
Fire.
So if you haven't seen Salem, Salem is based on the times during the Salem witch trial.
It's basically Coven's back.
I'm going with Team A.
So like with Tituba and stuff.
Mhm.
Tituba is on the cover. She's
I'll
that.
go with Team A.
Yeah.
I'm Team A too, but I'm gonna be honest with y'all. The Charm girls are gonna be on the B side. They're gonna be on the B squad. Like,
Yeah.
Wait. So Team A is all 3 on the left. Team B is
Yeah.
all 3 on the
right.
Ooh.
I can answer. I'm Team B. Witches of East End. I'm gonna send Witches of East End Craft Girls because the Craft Girls were cute, but they didn't really do that too much. So Witches of East End will wear them out. I'll send Salem after Coven, and then the charm ones go wear them other charms.
Sarah would eat these bitches up. Sarah is a natural witch. Sarah is a natural witch out of the four in the craft. So I feel like she would get people together. If they did a sequel to the craft and we got to see Sarah actually use her powers the way she wanted to, I feel like she would fuck shit up.
Knowing Sarah, she probably bound her damn self. Knowing Sarah, she probably bound herself.
Oh, please.
No, she's not that stupid.
My thing is though, so like you said, like Sarah's the natural witch. So that's 1 out of 4. The charmed ones, the new ones are still fresh witches, and then like the only regularly practicing ones are the ones in Coven. Whereas in
I have a question.
Charmed, huh?
First of all, TaMon, why didn't you add that 4th person in this new charm? Oh, you didn't do this. That's right. But there's a 4th one in here.
Oh yeah, her name is Michaela.
I don't care if she's the 4th one or not. She'll still be on the B squad. Like y'all sit your asses over here until we call for you.
I don't. You hold down the fort, honey. We're going outside.
Can we stop Witches of East End and Charm? Can we just
not at all? Not at all, baby.
This is hard. Wait a minute.
And I guess in the defense of, because like the Charmed, depending on what part of Charmed, if you're adding Paige into this, like the Charmed ones have been practicing for a good while. Which is at East End, at some point you could the mother and sister have been practicing for a good while,
right?
And then Salem,
fucking times.
Yeah, they've been practicing for a good while. So
Salem,
like,
you have a Supreme and Pitchuba.
Right, so like you got some longevity. That's what the Team B's got going for them. They got some longevity going on here.
Oh, Myrtle, I don't want to say Team B. Oh my God.
Here's the thing. Y'all brought up a good point about, as much as I love that fucking movie because I'm going with emotion, the craft, they're still at the beginning. Even though Sarah is a natural witch, she's still learning her shit. So when we last left them, they were still learning their shit. Like I said, the Charm Girls be B-Squad.
Wait. We're in 2022. She learned her shit. We don't know that now, so we want to do that.
How we don't? The only thing we know about the craft.
She's been pregnant.
The only thing we know about the craft is that the only thing we know about the craft.
I'm telling you. So we're just gonna go based off of what I said. So okay.
Secondly, Marie Laveau is Rochelle's great grandmother.
There you go, Mike. There you go.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's because their hair is natural.
But they haven't been hanging out though. So
I hate that I'm gonna choose Team B. I hate this. Oh my God.
But guess what? If you look at
I've never seen Salem, so that's what's actually
all their mothers. Tituba's all the mothers. Right there, the third one, she is black. You just can't tell because
they got the mixed one in there.
They did. And Salem, the third girl.
Who's black?
Well, if Sarah invokes the spirit of Manon,
you better say it right too.
I'm trying to think how powerful she would be against these other groups. But again, if it's all four of them, I mean, the most they did was float and like do illusions.
Go with Team B. I'm gonna stay with
Team B.
Team B.
It's literally only Coven that's throwing me off, but Team B.
Okay, Mark.
See, child, this is torture because as much I think the Coven girls could carry the entire team. Like I said, B Squad. Actually, Charm would be B Squad. Charm would be the one sitting there at the gate to call somebody to call back up. You know what I'm saying? Because they can't do shit for me. They don't do shit for me.
Charmed, they're entitled.
I'm talking about the Charm.
You're getting this face.
Team A Charm.
Oh, and to be fair, the only Coven girl that actually has powers is Marie Laveau and Cordelia.
Excuse me?
No, we're not doing that.
We're not doing Myrtle Snow like that. We're not.
Oh God,
we are not.
They all keep their powers, TaMon. What the fuck?
I just feel like Team B is like steady foundation of like practicing
More
witches. And like
That's
Coven,
a good point.
and with Coven, you got some serious heavy hitters that could probably bring it home, but like you gotta make sure that the new Charmed and Crafting at least get you started.
Like I said, the Charmed
They're going to be in
holding
the Rover Show.
They're going to go to Rover
The
Show
7 of them were in the Academy.
If I could just go and find,
all of them going to teach them well. They're going to be those top witches.
if I can
all the way.
find out where the fuck Misty Day is with Stevie Nicks
Yes.
and get her ass
She's
to
in
come
there.
back.
She counts, Mark. She counts. She's in this.
No,
group.
I mean, I'm just
Kevin.
saying, but you know, she was out twirling with Stevie Nicks when shit
I
hit the
was
fan.
too.
And
right.
I need her to sit there and revive the charm because they ain't gonna last in the first battle. Like you look,
The new
Misty
Charm
come
ones, their
Cordelia can do it
powers
too.
keep growing.
Cordelia
They keep
is
getting
supreme.
more
She can
and
do
more
all of
powers.
it.
Baby, the way Cordelia's gonna get
All right.
bound, don't worry about it. We're gonna bind her ass real quick.
We're not going to act
Ooh,
like
Sarah
the new
could
Charm
bound
girls.
people.
The new Charm girls do get a lot of new powers really quickly. They discover them.
And I
So-
wasn't gonna say that, but they are action men.
So
they are what?
They are pretty sickening. The new Charmers are.
Say
They
about-
OP as fuck. They OP.
Well,
I
don't
that's
know.
a surprise. That's a surprise coming to your mouth, sir.
You know what?
Yeah,
They're still a chop. They still get a chop. But the one to the far right, who's supposed to be the middle sister, she has the ability. She's a time witch,
mhm.
and she also can create fire and ice. So like
Yes.
she's overpowered. So like, but the other one in the middle is dead, so it doesn't matter.
You took the one
Final,
that was dead.
final choices.
Yeah,
She died.
gone. She's gone.
Yeah,
Oh,
they did a
Macy
whole. Yeah,
She's
I
dead in
didn't
the
know
middle.
that.
Well, spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert,
Wow.
she vanquished the demon that possessed her on the inside. She vanquished it on the inside and it exploded on a molecular level and it killed her.
I just feel like they knew they weren't going to get too many seasons. So they're like, let's give them all the powers. Let's get through this. So just in case we get canceled, let's do
All right, what
that.
was
Was it
you
4
saying?
seasons?
I say Team A. Like,
I'm
TV.
I'm a.
Come on, Mark, you know where to come. Come home. Come home.
See, I didn't watch.
TV.
I didn't finish Witches of Eve.
maybe by myself, Mark. It's okay.
It's
No
like-
explanation. Go over there with them. It's okay.
Mark, we have a whole book of shadows just waiting for you to learn and grow.
You see that book of shadows over here too? What are you talking about?
And who got one?
Team B?
Charm got a
That's what
book of
I'm talking about.
shadows and a
I'm on
command
TV.
center. They got
I'm on
both.
TV.
Not command center.
They do.
They do got
They-
command center.
They do have command
I
center.
got a Zord
No,
on
I'm
too.
And even though I voted for the Charm ones in the last round, I'm gonna go ahead and give it to the Coven hoes because I
So it's
do.
okay. That's fine.
I feel like the Coven would be the first flank. Actually, let me take that lie back. If Coven was smart, which I know they are, they would say that the Charm ones get vanquished, and then they would sit there and work with the craft girls, and then fuck shit up.
I was in the craft girls in to get rid of them because they dead anyway.
I mean, Phoebe ain't gonna do shit. Okay. so
Wait,
that's one.
Phoebe can make a meme in 2 seconds, and she can predict your moves. So like,
She'll be dead by the time her premonition is over.
Phoebe can kill all of craft next. And then,
Every damn time, just she's surprised that she got a premonition, and she can levitate a little bit and kick. You know what? I changed my answer. I'm going with Team A.
We have one for Team A.
No, Michael, stay your ass over there. You
Team
told
A.
Team B.
I'm looking at Coven. I know Coven will be able to pull some shit out.
No,
Coven has been against
Everybody-
Satan himself.
No,
I'm going to
stay
Team
right over
A.
there.
I'm going to Team A.
He can't come back. Once you
Sit
leave us, you
back
gone. Bye.
I was
Sit right next to
I'm
Phoebe.
still decided. It's Team
Right
A.
next to Phoebe.
It is
Team A. Okay, you can go over there with them losers. Bobby, you said Team A. Mark, what you say?
I said Team A.
Dang.
Wow. Rick, you said Team A
Mark said
too?
Team A.
I said Team
Ricky
B.
been saying Team B the whole entire time.
I've been trying to explain Team B all day. The whole time.
Team B is where
Ricky
it's
was
at.
trying to explain Team B.
Okay,
I
I'm
think
sorry. I'm
it's
sorry.
Salem that
I've been
is
saying
throwing
the
me off.
consistency in Team B is where I'm at. Like, I need something stable. I need something I can trust. Okay.
And she made good points. She made damn good points.
I need a
because
template. Okay. I
all
need.
three of them on the other end they have been practicing for a long time. Like you got Salem, who are the original. Those are the originals.
Of Covens, don't forget.
Right, of Covens. And then you have the Charmed ones, and then you have the Witches of East End, which I know would have probably lasted long if it was on another network, because Lifetime.
Right.
They're from Asgard, just for the record. They're from Asgard.
You know,
So,
this would have been
know-
really good on CW.
Yeah.
Right.
HBO Max.
Well, you know what they would have done? They would have changed the mother and the aunt out because they want people to look as young as possible. I think they would have switched those actresses out, unfortunately. But they were great on the show.
Yeah.
They were really great on the show. And that's the Sleepwalker lady.
It is.
Yeah.
She was great.
The daughter, the one that was getting dragged. And pulled.
It was
Also, it depends
Man.
what Piper we're getting. If we're getting like anxiety-filled Piper in the beginning, I don't know if she's going to be as good in the battle.
It's Piper Hollywood who she is today.
Well,
It
I
depends
see
on-
Prue here. So if it's that Piper,
That's fine. It's 3-2. Y'all on Team A, Team B. We'll see y'all in the streets. Okay.
On site.
And Miss Cordelia Good, I see you, Miss Supreme. We got
Yeah.
you.
they
We got-
tricked Satan. I mean, really.
I can't with y'all. Y'all are too damn much tonight. Look, I don't know. This is
It's done. A1.
It
Do
is
we have
not.
a next slide? Do we have a next one?
No,
That is
that's
the last
it. That is it.
Okay.
Next slide. You know what? This has been so fun and so good. We can't even give you everything that we need to give you guys in one episode. So we're going to circle back and do a part 2 to finish out this conversation about werewolves and vampires and witches. So stay tuned and make sure that you like, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And we're here at the Scream Kingz. And you can find me at Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and anywhere else at TaMon Kane.
Take me a second to put it up there, y'all.
Yeah, can we just give a round of applause for our special guest? Our
Yes.
honorary king.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Enrique, where can we find you?
You can find me on social on Instagram, Rickey Z _social. You can also find me on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, Hover, TikTok, all Slack if you're on there.
I'm on Slack.
Look, see, I'm on all the social medias. I'm doing too much, y'all.
I can't keep up.
Hey, Mark.
Oh, y'all can find me at the Anti-Critic on Twitter. You can also find me on Instagram at Midnight Social Distortion and Marco Estes. And I am working on 2 or 3 episodes of my podcast, Midnight Social Distortion. I'm waiting on some new equipment to come in to finish this up. So when I get all that together, I will drop the episodes. And yeah. And Scream Kingz, shit.
Of course.
Oh, is it Bobby or me?
The Alpha. Oh, Michael. Go ahead, Michael.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at DaiquiriBinks86 and the podcast The People Under the Scares with Bobby Torres with the Z next to me. We will be back October 3rd with our first episodes after a long break. And yes, join us. Be scared. Be frightened.
Yeah, because I'm going to fight him.
You choose Tyler. And our resident alpha of the Werewolf Pack.
You can bring that finger knife if you want to. That's fine.
And I will.
You ain't even
Anyway,
close to
Bobby
Say
Torres
less.
is a
That's
Z,
what's
not
said.
an S. Bobby likes to spooky on YouTube. The People Under the Scares with this one over here. And also here on the Scream Kingz. So yes, you can find me all on those platforms.
Absolutely. Guys, share, like, subscribe. And if you're still drinking, because I'm almost done, but for those who are still drinking, have a final drink for us. And we'll see you guys for part 2 of Vampire, Witches, and Werewolves. Sayonara.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.